What up? What up? What up? It's another episode of the Shark Cove. And I don't know if you saw my face before the intro video because, man, it's just been so long. I forgot how to operate this thing, making rookie mistakes, starting the video, forgetting to go live, turning the video off, then going live. I don't even know how to make some lineups. But luckily, I've got a couple people with me today. It wouldn't be a Shark. It's been a long time since this man's been on the Shark Cove, but a man that I've been told by he himself that he is well versed in shit. As I asked him to look into these shitters and do some research, none other than Mr. Moose. How are you, Moose? I can't hear you.
I'm well versed in shit. Good evening.
All right, don't scare me like that. I thought I did something wrong because it was just super loud, and I was like,
just me doing my shit. Bring on the real guest.
All right. And then to coordinate with both of us, of course, a guy that's probably very well versed in shit as well. Sounds like he's done a little bit of research. We've got none other than Gelati. How are you?
What's going on, guys? World season. Why you just bust my intro open like that, Moose? Like, what's going on, man? How am I supposed to follow that up?
What do you mean? I set you up.
For shit.
But you're well versed in everything. But me, I dig through the shit. You know.
I don't know everything.
That's how I make the fantasy league world championship, by digging through the shit.
Look,
cheers for worlds, boys.
When I talk about the shit that's here, it's obviously because we're talking about these crappy play-in teams. A team that was just one game away 3 times from Excel, not even coming close to here, but they won. And somehow just found their way here in Fnatic. And even with COVID issues, it's good to see that Upset made it because, oh man, if Upset didn't make it to these worlds, oh man, I would have been right there. I would have been right there criticizing because that's just kind of way too inconvenient year after year. But I don't know. How do you guys want to do this? Do we want to just like focus? We're obviously focusing on the play-ins. Do we want to talk about the play-in groups, or do we want to just hop right into these 3 separate slates that we have for DraftKings?
I think we could probably do like a quick rundown of like who's in what group, like our general thoughts on who the good teams are, who the bad teams are, who maybe could do something, and then I guess we could go into the slate. Because otherwise, we're just kind of jumping into a bunch of teams that I don't think a lot of people know anything about. So, what do you guys think?
That's fine. I'm just trying to get it brought up here. Bring it on screen. Let's make it big enough. Let's do this. Let's do it. Jesus, I don't even know how to do anything anymore.
Since you brought it up, we should just talk about the Fnatic situation, right?
We can do that first.
What's happening with Fnatic? Are they playing?
So, literally like 4 minutes after I released my article this afternoon, they tweeted out an official statement saying that Upset is in fact going to be playing tomorrow. Hylissang is maybe going to be Friday, maybe going to be Saturday. That's still up in the air. But it's going to be Upset and Rux, and I'm assuming Upset's going to play AD carry. But they didn't say which, so that's
yeah.
They're both designated AD carries on DraftKings, so
Yeah, I mean, well, we look at this division that they're playing in, and let's keep in mind how people get out of a division. And I might misspeak here, so correct me if I'm wrong. The winner of each one of these groups automatically goes, correct?
That's
And
correct.
then the number two moves on to an elimination game, and then 3 and 4 play each other to play the number two of the other division, correct?
Yes.
I believe that's right. I thought it was just 2 and 3.
No, it's B plays A and A plays B. Yeah.
It is 4. Yeah, you're right. It's the top, and that's you have it right. You had it right, Chris. You're good.
All right, cool. It took me a minute. I just figured this out yesterday. So look, in Group A, we've got Beyond Gaming, representative from the PCS, denied PSG Talon, Unified, and darling of one split, villain of another Gory from getting into Worlds. Beyond Gaming coming in with very little hype, despite the fact that I drafted almost the entire Beyond Gaming team in both of my Worlds playing or Worlds best ball leagues. Then we have a team, the CEC, excuse me, the Chiefs Esports Club coming out of OCE, undefeated, regular split, only dropped, I think, 2 maps, even in playoffs, playing a bunch of academy or former LCS academy, some guys that seen the LCS stage, but overall, some mainstays in that OCE Australian League. We've got Detonation to focus me. By this time, should be kind of well versed. They've been a mainstay in Worlds and MSI the last couple of years. So for even those of us who don't have a long history pre-COVID, this DFM team is somebody that we should be familiar with. We've got EG minus Danny. We've got Fnatic with all types of problems. And then everybody's darling, we've got the Brazilians from Loud, who I think have one of the best junglers, maybe in play-ins, with Croc. He's a guy that I've been on for a long time. Really excited to see him, not play some wild and wacky stuff. I looked at the guys that he's been playing in his champion pool. No really strange Elise picks while I have 10 units on him. Surprise, surprise. He only played that one particular game. But Moose, initial thoughts on this Group A?
Honestly, pretty exciting. A lot closer than you might think. And I'm glad that I don't have to pick a lineup for my top 10 out of these, because this is you can make a case for every team. I mean, realistically, obviously, I was looking more Fnatic's way, and some other people that in the best ball drafts were looking EG's way. But I think the only one that I think the primarily the questionable teams are going to be your darling Beyond Gaming and probably Loud and the Chiefs Esports Club. I don't know what CHF is going to do, but it seems like everybody brought good players, and I don't think anybody's really safe. It feels like anybody can really take a game off of any of these teams.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I think this group actually has an incredible amount of parity. Like when you consider the
Circumstances.
illness and the travel situation for Fnatic, Fnatic would have been just a slam dunk 1 seed out of this, I think.
I think they still are. I still have them favored as the.
Yeah, I mean they're still the favorite for sure, but
I mean, we could talk about some of these odds that are coming up here.
Yeah,
but
these actually just came out today. A lot of the books were waiting for news on upset.
Some of these odds are just Fnatic minus 400, Fnatic minus 500. It's like.
Yeah, I know they're minus. I think they're minus 110 to win the whole group.
Yeah, they go into that first game at minus 130 with Evil Geniuses being even, and I think that's a game that, if those were the odds and they both had their full rosters, I would be all over. But I am concerned about the changes to Fnatic, especially with different patches. I don't know how long the rest of Fnatic has been over here, but I think it's been a little bit of time. And, that does obviously mess with some of the continuity, especially when this Fnatic team has been solely play around upset and funnel through upset. And upset is their only win condition. And quite frankly, I didn't think that they were really that good throughout the regular season. I know that your numbers might have said otherwise. but my eyes are what I'm trusting here.
Yeah.
That being said, look, this isn't like they're playing in the playoffs. They're not playing Rogue. They're not playing G2. They're not in the second round. They're playing like second tier teams. And this game against Evil Genius is, I don't know, like, do you think that like taking a side on Evil Geniuses here as like they've known Danny isn't going to be here. They played admirably in the finals. And maybe this team is together and they have some continuity and they have some gel and they get the upset here. I don't think anybody would be surprised by that.
Yeah, I don't think anyone would be surprised, but I'm like, you're basically saying that the difference in quality between these two teams is made up for the fact that they have continuity, right? Like that's the trade-off.
Power of friendship.
Yeah, and like, I mean, EG literally only are our one-trick pony. Like Fnatic have at least tried to show us some different looks, with mixed success. EG just don't even try to do anything different. Like Cowrie's just going to get fed all the resources, just like Danny did. It's been a month. It's possible that they could have reinvented themselves, but I doubt it. So I would actually still lean Fnatic. I just think they're a way better team than EG. And like, yeah, you could make a case, continuity and travel and all that. And I wouldn't bet Fnatic here. I wanted to, but like, it's a bad situational spot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this line was off the board earlier today when I looked at it, and I think that this is adjusted given all the news that's there, and I think that that's a fair assessment. I wouldn't really want to touch this.
For those that don't know, Upset left sometime last night took a 14-hour flight to get from Germany to here, and yeah, you have the time changes and everything, but like it's a 14-hour flight. He's recovering from illness. I don't know how sick he was. Because positive test doesn't necessarily mean they were like super ill, but like assume he's got some kind of symptoms and he's traveling a lot and there's going to be a time change and he hasn't been practicing with the team this whole time. Like that's enough concern for me that even though I think Fnatic are way, way better, I honestly don't want anything to do with them.
Yeah. And Inspired can easily take over the game.
And I think that this is one of the games that's kind of, like when we look at this early slate, and I know you guys can't see this because it's way too small, but when we look at this early slate, the afternoon slate, this is kind of the game that I think is the most up in the air, and I think it is going to be the one that possibly tilts this, because the next game that we can talk about here from this group specifically is going to be this Loud Gaming versus Beyond Gaming. Vince, you've always been a big proponent of the PCS, and it's probably because they're good. People like Brazil, and I've seen the chatter. I've seen it. I like Loud. I think Loud's good. Loud has 25 kills per game. Loud's going to get fucking rolled, guys. Loud is, the only thing that's crazy to me is that Croc is very good. There are good pieces from this.
Tino's very good too. Like,
yeah, exactly. And Robo's good. They have some good pieces, but they have some good pieces for Brazil. I think that they're going to have a really, really, really tough time against some of these teams. And Beyond Gaming just feels like a more polished team from a better region who, albeit we're not a team that, like, I think you would have expected to make it here.
Yeah, they were a cut below the top two teams in the PCS, but they were probably like them. That they are in they're like a half tier down from the top two. So, like, it's not like they're a bad team. I just don't think they would have been the best rep. We'll talk more about that later too. I'm with you. I think Beyond's going to stomp, but I don't know. Brazil and Vietnam, when you just introduce variants to the game, sometimes shit happens. So I think, like, from a DFS perspective, you want a piece of this game one way or the other, right? Like, even if you do like Loud, like, whoever wins this game, I feel like this is going to be the high kill game of that early slate.
Yeah, but you know what? It does happen more times than people are willing to acknowledge going into it. Like, Brazil CBLOL games aren't all fiestas. No. They're not. There's plenty of them that finish at 16, 17, 18 kills to the winner. And this is the very first game that these guys are going to have on stage in this situation. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of nerves. So we might see a little bit more conservative. This is the first time that they're playing on this patch in this condition. I mean, obviously they've been scrimming on it. This is a game where Beyond Gaming is at minus 185. I kind of like that side. I'm probably going to bet that maybe with a little bit of a 2 or 3 leg parlay to start the day. Let's hop over to the other group really quick and kind of cap out this trio and get some thoughts on this slate. We've got the is it Osiris? Is that how you say it? I don't know. It doesn't matter. We won't have to. Yeah, look, we're not going to have to mention their name for very long. They're going to be playing against Mad Lions. Now, granted, Mad Lions had not won a best of 5, but guess what? This is a best of 1. So the Mad Lions are going to come in here, and I think they're going to take care of business. This is this might be one of the last moments of I don't know, of fleeting happiness for the Mad Lions as they I do think take care of business here, but might have a little tougher time throughout the entire play-ins. This game is listed at Mad Lions minus 400. Oh no, I'm sorry, it's not. It's minus 900.
Yeah, it's up there.
So I guess the question is this, Moose. Do we play Mad Lions or do we just like go ahead and go pick a side on FNC EG and then pick a side on Loud and Beyond Gaming? Do we go favorite? Do we try and play some sub-captain type of situation? Because look, at the end of the day, this is an international competition, right? And what we see at international competitions more so than in other types of games of national competition. I don't know. I was trying to look for a different word. Domestic. That's the word. Yeah. Shit. It was not even there. It wasn't even clicking.
It took the beer to do that.
Yeah. Look, so instead of in international versus domestic, we see a lot of favorites win. We see those sub captains. Could a sub captain take this slate down for 2K?
That's a good point.
No.
Damn, they shut us down. All right.
No.
Wow. Okay.
Not gonna happen.
I'm gonna call you when it happens.
These games yeah. I mean, it's a 3-game slate. I know that sub captain is definitely an option, but when you have 2 close games that have a chance, that both have a chance of popping off in either direction, I feel like the Mad Lions are just gonna be a small stack.
I don't know, man. Kaiser scored a ton of points when they won. Get a little Kaiser, get a little Keno.
Give me a 4-stack Beyond Gaming with Mad Team, and then just whoever. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Mad Lions are just gonna come in and take care of business. Doesn't feel like they're gonna fuck around.
Yeah, I've got my beefs with that team, but they are very, very good, and I think because of how they finished this season, I think people are probably sleeping on them a tiny bit.
Yeah,
well, we'll get to that group, but Vince, what are your thoughts on this? Give me the 1, 2, 3, 4.
The 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, this group, I actually think this could get really crazy. Like I think we could get a couple 3-3s, a couple 2-4s. Like we could get one of those kind of situations. My 1, 2, 3, 4 is probably. Oh, it's just. I'm all right. I'll put a take out there. I'll put a hot take out there. I think Beyond Gaming is going to be your number 1.
I agree.
I think Fnatic's your number 2.
Sorry.
I think Chiefs Esports is your number 3, and
Ooh.
Donation Folks Me is your number 4. But I think those 2 could end up being tied. Dude, Chiefs and DFM are actually good.
I think you can slot DFM at a solid 500 because they always do 500. They're always
I know. I always hate backing the play-in team that like had a good year last year because it rarely repeats. But this team's like actually good. You look at like all their economy, like both these teams actually are very good. Like their economy metrics are good. I mean, for what it's worth, guys, I actually bet all 4 of I bet everyone besides EG and Fnatic to win this group like outright. Because I think there's just a chance that this whole Fnatic situation, like they have 5 games to prove it. Like a lot can go wrong, and it's 5 games over 4 days. A lot can go wrong, right? Like if you just don't have it that week, you have a bad read on the patch. These other teams have been together. Like I mean, all these teams are traveling too, besides EG, and maybe that's like the case for EG. But yeah, I don't know. I think the chalk is right, but I think the odds are way out of line. I'll put it that way. Like the chalk, it probably is just going to be like EG Fnatic, and then Beyond, and then one of Chiefs or Detonation Focus. I think Loud's going to finish last.
So Moose, you had a lot you had a lot of laughs there.
All right,
Give me your 1, 2, 3, 4s.
The PCS. Every year, man. We do this talk every year. We get excited for the PCS, man.
I'm not excited for
Stats look good, baby. The teams are good. They got insane players, and then they just come in and they kind of shit the bed. And
I am not nearly as excited for Beyond as I am for basically any other PCS team that's been there in the last 3 years. I don't think this team should be there, but for what it's worth, they are kind of playing their best league right now, or they were playing their best league at the end of the summer and in playoffs. So
I think you just kind of If Beyond is I don't think they're gonna finish first. I think they have a solid top 4, but I don't know enough about these Chief guys, man. I really don't know if
every single one of them has been here before.
All right, let me throw you some names.
Yeah, but
here.
not together.
Yeah, no, together last year.
No, what all these guys?
Oh no, Arthur wasn't last year. Arthur played in the LCK last season.
Yeah, I mean Arthur's
a good player too.
Arthur's a good player.
Topoon's a really, really good player. Like
Topoon's been
Ray's played in the LCS and LEC, or no, he subbed in the LEC. Never actually played.
I mean, I'm like I saw the lineup. I was okay with the lineup. I just can't say that I love it. Like I don't look at it and think, man, this is gonna be like this is a monstrous Australian team. Can they win a couple of games? For sure, but a 1-4 or a 2-3 finish sounds like most likely for them.
I'll be honest with you. I am a little bit biased because I just like the way they play the game. Like they're a very fundamentally sound team, and I think a lot of the teams in this tournament aren't. So, not most of them, but like there's some teams that people think are way better than they actually are in this tournament. And so, maybe I'm projecting the 18-1 price, which is what you're going to get, or when it was 33-1 for them to win the group. The futures prices on these teams are out of line. Whether you actually think it happens is a different story. So I can see your. It's probably just going to be.
Moose, can I get a 1 through 4 from you? Come on, man. Jeez.
So, I totally interrupted you.
No, it's all good.
No, he was off on a tangent. He won't take some conviction. He doesn't have it here.
I'll do Fnatic, EG, Beyond, DFM.
I think that's the chalk, and I think that's reasonable. Honestly, it's reasonable. But
Hot take.
Like, I don't think you're going to have an undefeated team. I don't even think you're probably not even going to have like a.
You have to. I don't think this comes down to who's better than who. I just think it comes down to what team is going to adapt to this meta the best. And if that meta is just EG feeding their AD carry 20 minutes to win a 7-3 game, or just relying on Inspired to carry them through these matches, that's fine by me. That being said, like Fnatic aren't the god of all EU LEC teams. Like they're capable of losing. They're experienced for sure, and they have experienced players, but we'll see what happens. I honestly think that it sounds to me like the whole COVID situation is going to be something that we're going to look on, with 5 games, that they're going to have time to kind of get it together, and I could definitely see them slotting in 1 or 2 easy.
Yeah, look, I think that number 1 is going to be. I got Fnatic number 3. I got Beyond and Evil Geniuses ahead of them. And then I'm going to take Chiefs. I'm going to take DFM to leave. I'm taking Loud to leave. But that last spot I think is interchangeable with any one of those 3. So I definitely would have Fnatic if it wasn't for this situation that they have to go with. But I think that they're going to figure it out. I think that what you will see from the Chiefs Esports Club is that they're going to take a couple of these games, and it's going to come down to one of the games against DFM, and it more than likely is going to come down to an Elder flip. That 4th spot is going to be an Elder flip in one of these games that's going to make all the difference. I think that they're all relatively close. And truthfully, given that this is the lineup coming from Loud, I wouldn't be shocked. I would not be shocked if this team ended up as the number 4 or number 3. I think that they do have some talent. But, when you look at them from a DFS standpoint, one of the things I want to point out on these teams, in wins, throughout the split, this team revolves around Croc and Bance. Not altogether that much different from other teams, but their kill participation from their support from their top, not wonderful. Tin Town's obviously too, but this is like, it's not funneling with like a 30% kill share on any one of these guys. And so they're definitely a team that you like to four stack. I think it was like, when you look at this team again, like, who do you go with? This is way too small for you guys. My bad. Forgot about that.
You go with Rays.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you have to go with Rays as a 29 kill share, but like the rest of it, like Arthur's obviously involved. But like, let's talk about this. So this is reflecting a jungle ADC centric meta. Vince, do you think that this meta is going to be a little different? Do you think that there's a possibility that we see more of the game decided on the top half of the map, the top, mid, and jungle? I think that that's been some of the discussion that I've seen out in the Twitter sphere.
Yeah, I think so. Just a brief disclaimer on this. Like, I got out of the business of predicting patches a long time ago because, just like in like football, you have the assumption of rational coaching, right? Like you could have like a stone cold awesome read on a metagame and have all the priority champions right, and what's going to get banned and all that, but it doesn't mean the teams are going to follow it. It doesn't mean the coaches are going to ban those things. It doesn't mean you could be totally right. It doesn't mean they're going to follow it, right? So,
let's assume they do, though. What do you think
so there's a handful of I think you're going to see mostly the same stuff. Like, I know that's like kind of like. So basically, all they did over the last couple patches is tone down the really OP shit that was getting picked every single game during playoffs. They toned that down so that it's still good, but it's not like every single game. And then they bumped a bunch of other stuff up, like to, within the realm or something that could be a counter pick. Basically, they're trying to push diversity. I think it'll get solved sooner rather than later. And maybe faster than we think because these teams have had so long to like scrim on this patch. But like, without going into specific champions or whatever, like they're mostly trying to get. You're going to see a little bit more diversity than you saw in playoffs, but it's going to be a lot of the same stuff.
So let me ask you: are we looking at jungle captains? Are we looking at mid captains? Or are we just going to go with the plain old boring 4-3 ADC captain?
It's probably going to be 4-3 ADC captains, but
Nice.
You have so many big favorites in these groups.
Right? Big fan of missionary, so I love this. This is like the missionary position.
This is the Kex cereal.
Yeah,
lineup.
exactly.
Like you've got the thing is, like, you have so many. The other thing too is like in best of ones. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but in best of ones, 80 carries are a little less. Like the ceiling games, obviously, 80 carry ceiling games are you just can't do anything. Like they're the best thing, right? Like that's not a question. But like in best of ones, where it's not like consistently getting that every game, like you see just random one-off. Like jungle captain in best of one does a lot better than it does in 5 or in 3. So like in this kind of format, I maybe lean toward jungle, if anything, just to get different. But you're going to have so many heavy favorites that you're going to have to play some top captains and support captains in a lot of these games, or you're going to have to punt team slot.
Nice. Okay. Well,
or punt support. I don't know.
Well, the problem with punting the team slot or support is we're only talking 3-game or 3-game slates. So this isn't like a big 4 or 5. I will give them kudos that they gave us a nice prize pool for this main slate. Get in and on it when it's good because it's gone. It's not going to fill. It's going to go down, and it's going to be shit in a couple of days. As soon as tomorrow,
watch it fill halfway, and they'll like double the prize pool tomorrow, and then everyone will come in and they'll cut the prize pool in half on Saturday. Like that's exactly what's going to happen, and you know it.
Dude, I think they're going to miss by like 1,000 slots, and it's just going to be atrocious. Like, look, this is such a terrible time. And a terrible day for Worlds to kick off from a DFS standpoint.
Because you have golf, you have football.
You have golf, but you have football. You're competing directly with an island game of football where people want to like dump their money into Showdown. They just have much bigger prize pools, and people are going to chase that, despite the fact that Showdown sucks as a format. That it's just a terrible game. But like, dude, people are going to play that, and they're going to play it over this, and like, I don't blame them. Like, I don't. Like, part of Worlds for me coming as a post-COVID person is like, waking up at a weird time. I think part of League of Legends fun is waking up at a weird time or being on during the middle of the day. This whole
There's
going to be
nothing
on
else
like
on. Yeah.
like prime time is going to be kind of strange. But you know what? Look, if I don't have to watch a singular island football game, or I can put it on the second TV, I guess that's just as good. Let's hop into this second group real quick, and let's get some predictions about this group. I don't think that there's a lot of introductions that need to be done on this group. Obviously, very stacked. You've got RNG or DRX, one or two. I think most of us, based on best ball drafts, think that RNG is going to come out of this group. And if they don't, those best ball teams are going to look even better because they get that extra best of 5, because there's no way that they finish any worse than second. So I'll go first here. I've got RNG, DRX. I'm going to throw Mad Lions as number 3. And then, what's going on with Saigon Buffalo? If they have their teams, I'm going to put them at a number 4 over the Istanbul Wildcats. However, that's the one that's interchangeable. Sorry, LLA. Not today. Moose, I need some conviction from you. Give me your 1 through 4.
I hate you guys. This group just isn't fun. Like just go. Like, could they not have put the Wildcats in the other group? Like, giving them at least somewhat a shot. I mean, it sucks because like it's so obvious. Like, I'll give you the 1 through 6. Like.
But give it to me. Give it to me.
I mean, it's exactly how you put it. It's
Okay.
RNG, DRX, Saigon Buffalo, Mad Lions, 3, 4, and then just 5, 6 is LLA and Turkey. And Gelati's nodding his head. He doesn't like my predictions. He thinks that Vietnam's not good this year, but perhaps they'll change him again with those Alistar flashes.
Maybe
To gap close level 1.
No, look.
Saigon Buffalo's not good, dude. Gam, I could all right. Look, Vietnam is so weird. Like they are actually weird. Like, Brazil's fun, and Vietnam takes it to a whole nother level. Like, they do some of the weirdest shit, and sometimes they just get you. Like, it literally feels like the guy in a StarCraft tournament that's cheesing, right? Like, it's a who was that? Who's the guy that like got rank 1 ladder at cheesing? There's like a whole documentary about him, and he played in a bunch of tournaments, and he did well for like 2 months.
Look, there were a couple of people that were like that in different, and there was a guy, at the beginning of
he played
StarCraft 2 that used to do cannon rushes. Just that's all.
Yeah, that's who I'm thinking of.
I don't know if he got rank 1. He was he was like a UCLA college student. The guy that I'm thinking of. Yeah, and he was just super annoying. I hated fucking people that did that shit.
Anyway,
I took it personal when I got cheesed.
You're not supposed to like the cheeser. You're supposed
I take it personal. When somebody cheeses me,
you're supposed to respect the commitment, but you're not supposed to like the fucking.
No, dude. Like, when they cheese me, I take it personally. Like it's like when you're sitting there waiting for the buff to spawn, and all of a sudden like 5 guys come lumbering through the bush, and you're like, God damn it! And like you start to run, but like you're one other teammate. Like, you're obviously outmanned 5-2. Your other teammates just flashing in, and it's like, dude, what are you doing?
Here's my real question on this. Like, I think RNG is a slam dunk. Like, get the shoebox out bet to win this group. Like, it's minus 250. Like, just they're gonna lose 2 matches
because they're like, RNG.
I mean, maybe I don't know, but like the thing is, like, so.
But that's so good at
that's
losing.
That, right?
They're so good. They're so good at losing.
They're so good, and Kai'Sa is relevant again. And Gal is like the best Kai'Sa probably ever. So,
like, how is Danny missing? How is Danny missing this tournament if Kai'Sa is relevant?
It's so sad, but
it's whatever. Like Prime said, RNG is just 369. RNG loses at least a game and probably 2 games.
Here's the all right. Do we all agree RNG are going to win this group? Like, in some way, shape, or form?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think so. I think DRX can win.
Okay.
I'm the cheeser.
So that was going to be my point of contention, because I think DRX sucks.
Oh, damn.
I think DRX is not that good. Like I had DRX literally as the 6th best Korean
They're
team
playing
by the end of the
against
season.
Gen and T1 like half the season. What do you mean? Like they're
Yeah,
Look,
and they never ever did well against any good team.
I don't disagree with you that they might have been the 6th best team in the LCK, but we're talking about Group B play-ins with the
Yeah, we're
Istanbul
talking about the
Wildcats.
LCK, and I'm aware of that.
So like
no, let me get around to this. The main question for me is DRX or Mad Lions number 2. Like that would be like that's the only real question to me.
DRX.
Because
I think it's DRX, but I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't
think those
be
two
surprised.
teams are fairly evenly matched. I think Mad might be better.
All right, well that's so you're going ahead. You're saying Mad Lions. This is what this is. We don't all have to agree on it.
Yeah.
You're going RNG, Mad Lions. You're going DRX, and then it sounds like you're going Istanbul Wildcats.
I think Wildcats, then Buffalo, then Isurus.
So you don't like Buffalo. The balls. You see the thing is that when we saw Buffalo last time, they brought the balls, bro. They play they play a game that nobody else plays. They bring the huevos
Bean Jay's a
to the match.
savage. Like he's
dude. They literally Taki flashing level 1 into a bush just to get a knockup is insane.
Bean Jay is like a god solo queue player. He just does that in pro play. It's like the funniest thing ever because it's like okay, it either works or it doesn't.
But that is the one difference I think with the VCS is that you look if VCS had consistent slates or were a part of it, like jungle captains would be so much more relevant because the jungle carry games in VCS, if you remember back to last winter, it was like jungle captain.
He probably carries that position harder than, you know, if you go like any league in the world, he's probably the best like fantasy jungler. Right.
Well, and that's the whole thing. Hazmat's great too, but like when we're talking about the jungle captain, the reason I brought it up is because this play-ins is just stacked with junglers, and this makes sense. Like obviously, teams with good junglers are more likely to advance and be better. But you've got Bean Jay, you've got Wei, you've got Aloya, the number 1 guy that he started the fuck ratings. Okay.
All right. That's my concern. That's one of my concerns with DRX.
All right. Okay. Well, let's go look at these dudes. We've got Husha. You've got Arthur. You've got Steel's inspired. Really but so if that's your problem with DRX, can that not in turn be your problem with a Fnatic? Like Razork has been wildly underwhelming. So is Wonder. And, we all know what happens with Humanoid. My biggest concern, I guess, with like this Fnatic team is like if the meta does shift to the top half of the map and you have to get away from Upset or Upset's not like in peak form, like if they miss this top 4, I wouldn't be surprised. But then again, Croc over here, super good. So I don't know. A lot of good junglers. Fnatic doesn't have one.
Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't go that far, but I see your point. Like, where are we at? Group B,
Group A, Group B. We're all in planes.
I don't like. All right, let me put it this way. Like, I think Mad and DRX are basically even. Like, I think it's wild because like I actually think Elyoya is crazy overrated, but he's still extremely good. And I think like DRX, Pyosik got benched.
So you're
I don't even know if he's going to be playing.
So you're hopping on that Mad plus 210?
Probably. What's that on Friday, right?
It's on the 2nd, so that would be like Sunday.
I haven't done. I've bet a few things on these next few days, but I haven't like done my formal
DRX opening against RNG too.
I laid off that one. I think the number's right. I actually would like. I'm closer to betting RNG there. I really like DRX is really not good. Like I think if you
they're gonna prove you wrong, right?
Probably. That's the way it goes, right? But
it doesn't. Like they can get out of groups as the 2nd best team in Group B. Like aside from DRX winning this group outright over RNG,
like,
it proves nothing. Well, that's what I'm saying. It proves nothing. They can still not be good and be the 2nd best team in this group.
Agreed.
Like, right? Like Mad Lions didn't win a best of 5, but they didn't get to go to a relegation tournament. or not a relegation, but
See,
like a
that's the
promotion
lame
tournament.
thing with
You know
this
what I'm saying?
group is that like the top three, like even if they just play like shit, I think they're still the top three. The other group is way more parity. Like it's the curve is way flatter. Like anything could happen in that group.
Well, I think that there's more questions with this group too. I think outside of like certain health situations,
Yeah.
mental and
The Fnatic
otherwise,
situation is what makes
Fnatic
that
and
group.
EG should be like 1, 2, and Beyond Gaming should be number 3. And I almost think that it still will be like that. I
Yeah.
think we try and create these narratives in worlds groups and in MSI, and it just doesn't always really get there. We might get singular upsets, and what's nice is that for DFS that might add some intrigue and some drama for us because it's going to throw a slate, but I don't think it's going to change the overall advancement. We're going to see probably an LPL, either all LPL final or an LPL versus Gen G. Like that's what we're gonna probably see. We wouldn't be surprised if maybe T1 snuck in there, but DRX is not making it to the finals. I think the only thing that like I can see is like a really outrageous thing is that RNG very well could make it to the finals and win this entire thing. So
it's like eight. It's like between 6 and 8 to 1, depending on where you look. If there's like prop bets for, like, if you don't want to bet RNG outright, you can bet play-in team to make finals for like basically the same price, and that gives you exposure to like Fnatic just run hot and go on some miracle run, or DRX, or just like LGD from a couple years ago, and just I don't know, like.
Yeah, but like LGD, even like LGD and LNG the last 2 years, like they didn't really go on too much. They got out of the planes, but they didn't like really get that far, like, I don't know. Getting into the quarters is, I'm talking getting the semis or getting to the finals, but
yeah,
this is a DFS show after all, and that's why the people are here. So let's get into this 20K to first. We've got a actual decent 3-3-3. So we got some games to discuss here. I think that everybody, based off of what we've talked about already, do not believe that Mad Lions lose to Istanbul Wildcats. I think the best thing that could happen is that like the Mad Lions just look like crap, or maybe that they look really good against the Cyrus in their first game. But clear favorites in this game. They're minus 400. Maybe you're taking a shot on Wildcats because I think that they're going to come in obviously the lowest owned. The question that I have for both of you is, what kind of ownership are these boys from down under going to get against Fnatic? Now, keep in mind, we're going to have an opportunity to see Fnatic play EG before this game, but I don't think that the outcome of that game really is going to change people's outlooks on this. I think that this is a spot where people are looking at the Chiefs as a dog, but I wouldn't call them the chalk dog.
It's like, yeah, I'm good. What do you think, Moose?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, they're a live dog. I just don't know how live they are.
Loud's gonna be the chalk dog.
Well, 100%. Yeah,
100%.
Loud's for sure the chalk dog, but I'm saying like that, like if you're trying to win 20 Gs, like you're playing cheap,
I think I'll just tell you guys what I built. I didn't like max this or anything, but like I'll just tell you guys what I built straight up. I just 4-stacked DFM every which way because the winner of that game, it's just going to be a shit show. And then I played a mixture of the other 4 teams because I sincerely think that this could be like the 2 big dogs. I think they're both live to win tomorrow. So I would not do exposure based on the odds tomorrow. I would do exposure like just kind of divvy it up how you want to. So like yeah, I don't know if do you guys know what like a banker bet is in like a round robin? So a banker is like you lock this one thing in, and then you can do all these various round robins and parlays and stuff. You see it a lot in like horse racing and NASCAR and stuff like that, right? And to me, like DFM is the banker in this. Like they're like I'm locked in on 4 DFM. That might be crazy. And then maybe I'll play some stuff with Loud because I think Loud, shit could happen. And I just want a little bit of that with the other 4 teams. It doesn't even matter which.
So, but the question is then how do you get that? You don't get with Mad. You can't get with Fnatic. Like I've got 4 of them. I got a jungle.
You end up
captain.
having to play.
You gonna play Razork? Like I don't want to play Razork. Fuck that guy.
I would play Razork. I would play.
You can't play Hillisang, so you've got to switch over. Probably go here, and where you're gonna play, you got to play Upset.
You just pull up.
I took out the mid. That's my problem.
Let me pull up. Where did you go? What do you think, Moose? I'm looking this up.
You definitely play Upset tomorrow.
Oh yeah, Upset's live.
You definitely play Upset.
I mean, you could even do something like this, though, right? So you could go Upset.
Oh, like
you can get. What did I play? You can get like mid captains if you're playing DFM in captain slot, which is what I was doing.
Yeah,
like, I have a ton of DFM. Like I'm almost 100% DFM. So,
damn.
Yeah.
You heard the man. Let me see what comes up for me.
Like I know not every CBLOL game turns out that way, but a lot more of them do than in the other leagues. So I'm willing to just.
I guess the concern that I have is when they lose, like to a team like DFM. Like, does DFM just like snowball that? Like, I mean, if I remember them and they play
they're
same
pretty
way,
clinical.
Yeah, they're a clinical team, and if Loud just like gives, if it just breaks the wrong way the first couple of skirmishes, and we're at like 10 minutes and they're like 3K gold down, and they DFM doesn't want to take any type of chances. They're not pushing it, and Loud can't really do anything because they just get shut down every single time. Like those are the type of games that do happen.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that's when you play like yeah, I think that's when you play maybe like an Arthur captain.
Yeah, I think that's live too. Like, yeah, you want more exposure than the odds are giving you. Is like that. That's like my TLDR summary of this, like of all the underdogs. Like, and that includes Loud, by the way. Maybe not as much because like I think they're just gonna be the chalk dog, right? If there's gonna be a chalk dog. Like, I guess, do you think? Just a question for you guys. Like, do you guys think that Loud is going to be like owned enough that you don't need to get cute, or is there just going to be a ton of like support captain like double heavy favorites? Like, is this just going to be like Fnatic and Mad Lions like support captain kind of shit all over the place? Is that
look? I think you need to. I think you need to play support captain. If you have a big enough exposure, if you're playing enough lineups, I think you need to play support captain, and I think that you need to the challenge that you have is that you don't have like that support captain with FNC. Like you're going to have to one off the support, and I think people are going to be smart enough to do that. But I think maybe you just put together some hodgepodge of 3 lineups if you're trying to win the 20K like solo, like that's realistic. And we can sit here and shit on it. We can sit here and say that it's not going to happen, but you don't need to go that much further back to MSI. I mean, I'm talking support captain. MSI support captain just absolutely crushed it, right? Yeah. I don't know. I was in Colombia. I don't remember exactly, but I remember people bitching. So I think that you have to consider that if you're not taking the dogs. I'm just going to go out and say I think Mad Lions wins. I know. Really? Wow.
Holy shit.
I know. Mad Lions going to win. Mad Lions going to win. I think Kaiser is the key to – Kaiser's in the GPP winning lineup for the 20K. I'm going to say that. I don't know about the rest of the guys.
Kyle a Kaiser lineup.
What's that?
Are you going to Magi Kyle a Kaiser lineup? Your Kaiser lineup of choice?
Yeah. Or no, I'm just gonna just do this. I'm just gonna be like, all right, so
let's show us the winner. You guys already did this twice this year on the show live. It's been a few weeks. We've had some time off.
Oh wait. Here we go.
People want winners.
Here we go. Hang on. Let me. I forget how everything works. Where is it? Okay, so
put you on the spot.
Here we go.
There it is.
Well, we can't wait. You can't play.
You gotta cancel Bean. You gotta unlock.
Okay, so can we got 6,000? So boom, there it is.
Here it is. The harp one off. What a god. The 3-3-1 harp one. Oh my god, this is ugly.
Oh, I don't know if I like this as much. Maybe you go. Can we get a?
Wait, I can't get mid cap. I can get FNC DFM mid cap. That doesn't work.
No, it has not been disabled in a long time.
Let's see.
Yeah, it doesn't work. Haha. Okay, so you have to take jungle.
I think you have to get a little weird. I think the biggest thing that you do is you get with Will, you get with Nathan, you find out what the Sims say, and you play it from there.
So like, all right, let's do like three big takeaways for the people. Takeaway number 1: Loud's going to be overowned, right?
I think that's the only thing that you need to take away.
That's
from
the
all
only
of this.
slam dunk like lock of the century.
Like you can play Loud, and
Yeah.
I think if you play Loud, I think the way that you get a little bit different is you play them with a large
dog.
stack with a Croc Captain, or you go Croc and Brants. But I think one that I really would like would look something like this: Croc.
What a crock.
You need some tin-ons, yeah.
You grab them. You go grab Kaiser. You grab.
I could fuck with this.
You got a lawyer, right? And then you
And then
got
you
Robo.
have to have the team slot for Loud too, because this is gonna just be a 40-minute clown fiesta with like 8.
Yeah, but they might not get all of that. They're only going to get half of that.
Good point. Good point.
They're going to be clinical. I think it's just going to be mad. They're going to come out. Niski's going to dunk all over the Wildcats. And I think that this is the lineup that has a good shot of winning if you want to get different by yourself. But more likely, if we're talking what actually is probably going to happen and what people are going to play, this is going to be the one that is the
You used to do both favorites with like a Croc one-off.
Yeah, you could do
Yeah,
something
easily.
like that.
That's there's probably something to that. I'm just saying.
It's a best of one, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna build that right now, actually.
Yeah.
People are going to own this. People are going to own this. This is going to win. This is going to look disgusting. Like this is a disgusting lineup that's going to win some contests. And you guys know it. Look at it. Look at it. You know it. You know it. Like you know it. Like you know it.
I'm gonna build this shit out right now.
So you're saying a Croc Captain or Croc one off, and then we're
doesn't
going
need to
what
be
these
captain.
two. So where are we captaining?
I'm messing around with it right now. Excuse me a second. You could play. All right, no, I forgot. There's another slam dunk lock on the slate that's even more likely than Loud being overowned. It's going to be Kaiser's overowned because of the Fnatic support situation. That's 100% slam dunk lock.
Well,
That's a
not
lead
only
pipe
that,
lock.
but he scores a ton of points. He scores
Yeah,
a ton of
and he's
points.
good.
Like,
It's a double whammy. It's the worst.
Like I could pull up the best ball things. Like Kaiser was just an absolute like machine. He was a machine.
You can do upset captain.
No, it's too expensive. I think. I don't think
Is
you can
it?
do it. I think actually. So what you end up doing,
Yeah, it is too expensive.
is
So
you
Croc
go
one,
with
maybe.
no. This is what you do. You go Kaiser as the support captain with a one-off Croc, right? And then we go with Wonder because it doesn't even fucking matter between those two guys. We definitely want Niski. I prefer to have Unforgiven just because of the clarity of that situation. And then we've got Kai. It doesn't work. Oh, because he's the captain. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, like that makes it very difficult. So you'd have to go with the CEOs, and then you team it up with Mad Lions or Fnatic. Yeah, so there's look, the lineup that's going to win is going to look disgusting. If anything, I think we're overcomplicating the slate.
No, it's not. It's just going to be a 4-3 Shaw Kaiser captain. It's going to be split 350 ways with the 1,200 people that enter the 4,000 person contest. That's what's going to happen. Yeah. You know it.
I'm going to get half my money back.
Yo, so for what it's worth, the dupes are better when it doesn't fill, right?
They are. I'm gonna get. Look, it's gonna be half full. I'm gonna max it. I'm gonna like finish like with the second best lineup and get half my money back. That's it.
200 people.
Yeah. I'm just like I'm gonna have the second best lineup. Just somehow I'm gonna have one thing off, and
You're
as a
gonna
result,
barely
like,
cash.
I'm
that's
going
what's
to get
end
nothing
up
back.
happening.
It's going to get nothing back. You guys won't see us tomorrow. We'll be done. The contests are going to suck. Like if the contests go to sucking, I'm not going to do shows all the time. We'll do a show going back into like actual groups when it comes in. This late slate, like I think it's just it's a small tournament. I think you get 11 entries. I put them all with RNG stacks, and then they don't have to be 4 stacks, and then just split it with buffaloes and
Dude, we're gonna get karma bombed so bad. It's
Why?
RNG is gonna break all of our hearts, and Prime's gonna be I told you so. He's gonna be on Twitter like.
Just roll a dice, baby. 3, 6, 9. They either play like a 3 or a 9. I mean, that's like if you tell me RNG loses 2, I really would not be surprised. You know.
I could see them dropping a game to like Mad or DRX.
Oh yeah,
They ain't losing Wildcats. The player difference is just too big.
They'd have to like really but I mean we've seen RNG significantly to lose to a team like Saigon Buffalo. I think that like I think
have
more
to just fuck around. Like
look,
that's what it's gonna have to boil down to, which could happen.
Let me tell you exactly what's going to happen in some of these games. Some of you guys are going to be watching the games, and you're going to have this dog, and you're going to get really excited because they're going to be up like 4-1 in a kill count. But that team's going to get absolutely no objectives, no towers. It's going to be too early. It's 4-1. You're going to think it's good. You're going to look at the kill or the gold total, and it's going to be like 600. It's not going to be that significant.
No, it's gonna be worse
and all of a
than
sudden,
that,
the favorite's going to come back and just shit stomp the other team. Happens
Saigon
every
Buffalo's gonna
international
go up.
tournament.
They're gonna go up 4-1 on RNG and be down 2,500 gold in like 10 minutes. Like that's exactly what's gonna happen. Like it's the same. This is my beef with that league. Is the same shit happens because like they don't get enough done with their kills. They just get kills and nothing happens from it. They're not getting a dragon. They're not getting tower. They're not even getting tower plates most of the time.
Yeah,
Anyway,
but I mean, to be fair, like
stuff.
DRX, like sometimes they just get nothing done at all.
I think
right,
DRX is allowed to get upset by like Saigon Buffalo because DRX does not respond well to just weird stuff. Like, so they do a good job of like being creative in drafts. Sometimes they're not going to be totally off the wall, but they find advantages for themselves. They do not deal well with weird stuff at all. So I could see them just punting a game to Saigon Buffalo because they just start panicking. But I don't know. I already went on my spiel about DRX. I'm going to hear it again.
Oh, this was the one that I meant to look at. Like the thing with DFN though, like look at this kill participation on this side. Like 54 from their top, 64 from their jungle, 56 from the middle, like 64. I know it's a byproduct of the league, but that would be my consideration. You're 4-stacking DFM, and you're really hoping that Loud carries them. So I hope you have a Loud jersey.
I don't, but maybe I'll buy one when I win.
It's not the way that you thought, but all right. Hey, look, that's been the episode
funny.
of the Shark Cove.
Funny.
We closed it out in an hour. Somehow we did this talking about 3-game slates with like one viable sport that you can play. We might be back later this weekend. We'll definitely be back for groups because I assume that there's going to be a good contest at least one day. Maybe not. We don't know. Go out, fill those contests, and talk to you guys later.
Please.
Set that music.